but the scars show what we're made of. Don't you look back, lift your head up, shake the dust off, tell me what you're made of. I can't hear you, I can't hear you. Breath in our lungs, beat in our heart. Let's get the voice, you got something to say. It's a brand new day. 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 When the rain falls, when the ground shakes, when the wind blows, when your heart breaks, show me sorrow, show me laughter, show me starlight, show me what you have to. I can't hear you, I can't hear you. Breath in our lungs, beat in our heart. Let's get the voice, you got something to say. It's a brand new day. 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 See the sunrise, oh, fire in your eyes, oh. It's about time we all saw you shine. It's a brand new day. 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 There's a secret through the thunder. There's a storm, but you're not going under. It's a brand new day. 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 We all fall down, we get banged up, but the scars show what we're made of. Don't you look back, lift your head up, shake the dust off, tell me what you're made of. I can't hear you, I can't hear you. Breath in our lungs, beat in our heart. Let's get the voice, you got something to say. It's a brand new day. 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 When the rain falls, when the ground shakes, when the wind blows, when your heart breaks, show me sorrow, show me laughter, show me starlight, show me what you have to. I can't hear you, I can't hear you. Breath in our lungs, beat in our heart. Let's get the voice, you got something to say. It's a brand new day. 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 See the sunrise, oh, fire in your eyes, oh. It's about time we all saw you shine. It's a brand new day.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How is everybody? You want me to move over? All right, that's fine.
Oh, maybe I need to scoot.
Yeah, I think it's the other way. It's nice to see you guys today.
Yes,
We
it
started our
is.
day off nice and early. We just wanted to make sure that we took full advantage of this amazing weather that we're going to have.
Yes.
Can you believe it's going to be, I think I saw 79 degrees.
Yep. So.
That's a good temperature.
Sleeveless.
Yeah, let's do more of that and
Yeah.
less of the whole -1 thing.
Yeah, all in 1 week.
I know, come on now.
That's crazy.
So for today, we do have 3 topics that we're going to cover from top to bottom. We're going to start with title companies and the fact that they might not be wiring funds directly for us anymore. We had our first instance of that come up. So I want to fully go over our policy on how we'll try to handle that and what that means. Number 2 is driveway creep. That's a topic that was brought up by another agent, and they had a question regarding that. So we will cover driveway creep, sideway creep, all types of creep that we could possibly have.
You're not a creep.
Hopefully not. And fire suppression systems.
Wow.
And a little bit of talk about them.
Yeah.
I don't actually know a lot, but we're just going to discuss the concept in general. And then
we're going to share what we know.
yeah, which may be fairly limited, to be honest with you. You very well could. So chat in when you know more about fire suppression systems than we do.
And also chat in if you are a new viewer. We are honored that you are starting your morning with us. That's amazing.
Very good.
Yeah.
Sounds
Chat
great
your
to
name
me.
in.
And if you
Not your number. Otherwise, if you don't chat your name in, we only get a number, and we want to know who you are.
Yeah, so what you're talking about right now, for example, is we have a first-time user on here, and it's like user 9746,
Yeah, we
right?
don't know who that is.
We'd rather just like the full information. So put your name in there and tell us whom you are, and that helps us out quite a bit. So thank you guys for doing that.
Yes. All right. I need
And
the
roll
bell.
call is now complete. So with that, we do roll call every day, and
If you're not here, you're tardy.
yeah, you are.
Here we go.
All right, title companies might not wire your funds directly anymore.
We've seen this sporadically throughout the last year.
Yes.
Some do, some don't, some...
Correct.
Yeah.
There's been all types of things. So what we have here is a CDA. And on this particular CDA, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people who are getting compensated. And that's totally fine with us. What we want the title company to do for us is to send that wire out or checks out to 7 different people according to our disbursement. So that's why we issue a CDA or Commission Disbursement Authorization. Yeah. Then everyone gets paid all at the exact same time, and the file balance is a lot quicker for them, and it also helps us out. So I'm extremely thankful in that particular situation. Yep. Mm-hmm. What we had was a new builder recently that I think is closed on Friday, maybe funded on Monday. I'm not sure the reason or rationale. Yes. Where the check, where they would only send 1 check, and the check for all of them have to go to the broker. So the broker is always the source of payment. We are saying, no, we don't need the whole check. Please distribute it just like this. Here's our authorization to go ahead and distribute it according to these rules. So in this particular situation, this builder, do you happen to remember their name?
I think it was Lennar.
Lennar?
Yeah. I believe.
And then the title company in particular, do you happen to remember that
They
too?
have their own title company.
Okay.
I believe.
So yeah, I don't know whom it was here. So chat in if you know.
Yeah.
The seller is Lennar.
Lennar.
So chat in if you know whom the title company was in particular, so we know this.
They have their own.
Okay. So it's Lennar Title? Mm-hmm. Okay. So now we know.
Now you're having me second guess, but yeah.
Okay. Or whomever's involved on the transaction. If you happen to know, please let us know, chat in so we have some more details. Please, Lisa or Stacey.
Please, Lisa.
All right. So let us know.
Yep.
So the issue there is they won't send that out for us. All the money will come here in 1 check. So this particular file closed on Friday, and I don't know why or what happened, but it wasn't funded until Monday or distributed until Monday. Maybe the checks were cut, maybe the wires went on behind the scenes, but they didn't really worry about our money until Monday.
I'm sure it was the weather.
And
we
that,
had bad weather last week too.
okay,
So.
that's fine.
But just know that there could be.
Then we get the check, and the check was delivered here on Monday via like some overnight system. So we get that on late on Monday. And then after that, I have to put this check in the bank so I can pay people. So the process is we'll deposit the check as quickly as we receive it. Then I will have your information in the computer, and then we'll send that check out directly to you through our bill payment system. And the reason for that is I've had problems in the past with me physically writing a check and then the computer not recognizing it and needing a lot of validation. My penmanship is pretty horrible, and the computer, for some reason, can't read it. So when you're going ahead to try to deposit them, it does become a problem. So we just went with an automated solution where it is typed and you have no challenges whatsoever.
It goes right out. Yeah.
Yep. So the check will leave our account as soon as it possibly can. And then it'll go directly to you, to the address that you have on file with us. So please ensure that your address is updated. This check, when it comes to you, would come in a rather nondescript envelope. And the first time it takes about a week. And then after that, it takes about 3 business days each time thereafter for it to go directly from our bank, Wells Fargo, directly to you in the mail, and then you get it. I can't, it takes a lot of time to take and write 7 envelopes out and write 7 checks and all those things. But once you're in the bill payment system and we just hit send, 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 it's done within just a couple of minutes. So the process is not that bad, but it is much nicer if you get paid immediately. We do take your funds is a priority, right? We want to ensure that you get paid.
Well, yeah, and that's why we
promptly.
set up to have it done the way we've done in the past. But, and it could just be rare instances. It may not be all across the board, but it could get to a point where, there is a little bit of a delay. So if you have a closing, you might want to ask, do you wire, know that in advance, right? Can you, our CDA, I know Stacey sends it out and she does such a good job of getting it out early, but then a lot of times they'll call, can I get your CDA like the day before? And it's like, well, we sent it a while ago,
So maybe, Stacey, if this comes up in the future and it is somebody that won't wire it for us, and this only happens like once in a while. It's not like all the time, right? It's not a standard. I definitely don't want to become an accountant and distributing the money, and any of those things is not my desire. So we'd rather the title companies handle it and you get your money promptly. But I want you to be aware that this is a potential issue. So, Stacey, whenever this does come up, if you would please kindly put a note in the file and tag the appropriate people so they know that this happens. And then when I receive the funds, we'll put a note in and say when it's distributed out. I do take it seriously and we'll get it out just as soon as we can.
Yeah.
But the check does have to clear so that we can send it out, and then it does take a little time. So I want everyone on the other side to always know when you're getting your money.
I believe brokerages across, the Metroplex, all of them do it that way. You have to get the money, and it has to go through that process. So hopefully we can continue the way we've been doing, but.
Well, it would be an option for you to see if the title company is providing value and the correct level of service. So if it's important to you to get paid promptly, then just know that you would choose a title company when it's your choice for one that will value your payment, right? And handle it in a certain way.
Yeah.
Now, we want to always do what's best for the client, but it's just important. Sometimes people want money in a certain time frame, and I completely respect
that.
that.
Builders, this was a builder instance where they control the builder controls the title and mortgage and everything else, so.
But knowledge ends up being power, and we want you to understand, and you have choices, and you have decisions that you can be making
Closings are
along
important.
the way.
We
Yeah,
all
and so is your
paid.
money.
Yes, absolutely.
So anyways, now we've thoroughly covered that from every single angle, and we can move on to the next topic.
Okay.
I'm Mike, and this is Shana Acquisto. We're both real estate brokers and co-owners with Acquisto Real Estate, and we need to talk about creeps, specifically driveway creeps, maybe sidewalk creeps, any other type of creep that could go on within concrete or cement. I don't know why you'd use one word or the other. Cement.
I say cement. You say cement.
So what this creep is the action of settling and pulling away from the main structure normally going downhill away from, and due to loss of soil, some type of erosion, causing a challenge. So Omkar, let's go ahead and split screen.
Your driveways are not part of your foundation, so they're going to settle a little differently than your actual foundation.
So I don't know this company in particular. I just saw that they had some pictures here. So what creep is when these items happen to settle and they're going to fall. So you can see underneath here that they are losing some soil here, and this will eventually drop down, and this soil would need to be replaced. So if we're looking down here, there's all different types of ways to go ahead and complete this. The most common is for them to go ahead and drill in and put a drill in and then mud jack it, and you'll have these holes here, and then you'll end up seeing that they get re-leveled up and move up a little bit. It's cheaper than replacing the whole thing, and you'll have a good result. I mean, people have been happy with it.
We've seen several in our neighborhood when you back out of the driveway at the end where it meets the alley are different. You know, it's starting to settle there too.
Yes.
But just know that you don't have to rip up your driveway and re-pour it, which a lot of people, you know, a lot of contractors will tell you that's the best approach is to, you know, is to replace it. But just know you don't have to.
Yeah. So there we are, and we'll talk a little bit more. I got craziness. Mike hit the wrong button, guys. Hey, I hit the wrong button. I don't know why I got involved there. I was trying to pull up some other images to show off mud jacking all at once. Maybe Omkar will kind of pull those up for me on the other screen, and we can go back to it. But this concept here is it's cheaper. It's more affordable.
Yeah.
And this is something that something that you can do for your clients. It's better than replacing it if it hasn't cracked. And it does happen when we have challenges.
Especially weather challenges.
Yes.
You know, we're going to have extreme temperatures this week, and I think you're going to see a lot of shifting.
Oh yeah, now you nailed it. Let's pull this up, Omkar. Way better. I should have been more prepared. All right, before and after pictures, these are even better. Yeah, if we go ahead, what we're going to end up seeing is we see that it dropped off, right? And you'll see this in all different types of places. And then you'll see that they end up drilling in, and like, look at this guy over here. He's drilling in, and then they're inserting all this extra mud in there because something settled. And, perfect, great, drill, pump, patch, and fill it in, and then it looks good. These guys here are doing this in the cold. So congratulations to them. This is a guy actually using the thing. You can see that's a nice cross section right there. And they're filling this with some high density foam that's going inside there. They're just trying to fill the void, and that brings it back up. It can look like all different types of things underneath it, right?
Yeah.
And so once we do that, this is now repaired, and probably a lot cheaper than breaking it up, hauling it off, and doing all that, and the damage and whatever it is, as long as you can deal with a couple of these kind of fill holes.
It's good to know options. You know, we see it in sidewalks, in walkways, in the front of your home. We actually had a case, somebody did mud jacking on their pool in their backyard because they couldn't really get to it. So they went in and it was starting to settle.
And they mud
So you
jacked
can
their
even
pool?
mud jack your pool, you know, if something happens to it and it starts settling and maybe losing some water. Yeah.
And where this kind of happens is water gets in there, right? Behind it, it pools, so the water drips in. It's like, oh, that's not a big deal. Then it erodes just a little bit, then a little bit more. And then the water, when it goes in, starts to pool and make this like underground puddle. And then when it dries, there's nothing there. So then it settles, right? And it finds a new level. So we need to fill in the level of what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay. They can't see that. All right. So that covers that topic, mud jacking. If you need it, look it up. And now you know a little bit more about driveway creep. I don't know if Mike loves it, but we covered it. So the topic we're supposed to cover right now is fire suppression systems. However, Mike doesn't know all that much about it. So maybe we're going to punt on this topic since we're over time and go to That's a Wrap. How do you feel about that, Omkar?
Okay.
Yeah! Well, that's a wrap. We covered 2 topics today instead of 3, primarily because I wasn't fully prepared for the last topic, and I wanted to make sure that I gave you guys some really good visuals on the fire suppression systems.
We have some good pictures.
We do. There are really good ones, and I was kind of like, I don't want to be doing this on the spot, and I'd rather give you guys the best possible experience, so I punted on that one till tomorrow. But we did cover driveway creep, and we did cover title companies and kind of what's going on there in relation to your compensation.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is very important.
So if you liked any of those topics, just take your mouse and scroll on down past the like button and click on it, and then chat in and say those are some good topics and tell us something that you kind of liked, and that would be good. Whoa, hang on, my pool area had frost heave. The deck raised almost an inch and settled back down. Wild.
We learned that yesterday. That's probably another topic for us. How things can raise what?
Yeah,
3
and what
feet?
Rachel was talking about there is I think the frost line got lower and then it pushed it up when it froze. And what happened is the frost line got below the tile there, I'm guessing, or the coping, or the decking, probably the decking, and then it forced it up. So what I did is I went around our pool and cleaned off all of the snow that was around there and the ice to ensure that that didn't happen, to help allow the sun to hit the deck and for it to not freeze, because when it does freeze, it raises. And that whole concept is about wherever the frost line is. When it gets cold, how deep in the ground does it freeze? So around here, we have a super low frost line. And you talked with the builder yesterday about how deep they go with the pier, with the beams that go across, and where that normally is. So they normally go 24 inches is the frost line where it's safe. So most of them go 28 inches. But, you know, we were talking about, should you go 30 now, or should you go a little bit deeper?
If you're up on a hill, I mean, just depending on,
you
know, the surrounding elevation, you may need to go down to 30, 32.
And then once you go so
far.
deep, the frost line, like up in the Northeast where we grew up, happened to be much lower. So when the frost line was lower or deeper, then that's when a basement becomes more economically viable to actually put in. Because once you have to go that low to make sure that your home doesn't heave up out of the ground with freezing, then you've already done that and you might as well put in a full basement. So that's kind of the concept. Once you've had to go 4 foot down, then going a couple foot more to have a small basement is sometimes worthwhile. But anyways, that's getting way off topic.
So
we covered Rachel's stuff. That was
a wrap, I guess, an encore. And now we're going to do That's a Wrap. Now we're wrapping.
Perfect.
We're for sure wrapping up.
Yes, we're done now.
See y'all tomorrow.
Bye.
We all fall down, we get banged up, but the scars show what we're made of. Don't you look back, lift your head up, shake the dust off, tell me what you're made of. I can't hear you, I can't hear you, breath in our lungs, beating our hearts. Lift up the voice, you got something to say. It's a brand new day. 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 When the rain falls, when the ground shakes, when the wind blows, when your heart breaks, show me sorrow, show me laughter.